Yeah, and I'm always prepared for people like Matt Walsh. He's controlled. Number one, he's controlled. He's scripted. He has certain talking points that he has to adhere to. So I understand why he says that. But in answer to his question, I'm going to answer. I have a few answers here I'd like to get into. Number one, no, the onus is on him to prove it. The onus is not on us. The onus is on him. The onus is on him to come back and say, well, here's this and here's this. And I come back and I say, but that's gone and that's gone. So you have to prove to me. The onus is always on them. They're the ones that started this. They're the ones that funded this at taxpayers' expense. They're the ones that sold this crap to the American people and the world. They're the ones that have to explain it. And they're the ones that constantly have to defend it. So when Matt Walsh says, and others like him say, that it's the onus is on us, no, it's not on us. We're the taxpayers. We're the average Joe out there. The onus is on you. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is when, and I've heard this before, when he says that thousands of people, were involved in this, hundreds of thousands actually were involved in this. So about 400,000 people were involved in this. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Let's get that on the table right now. 400,000 plus people were involved in this. But he makes it sound like, and this is why people like him will not talk to me, right? Because I can throw it right back at him because he makes it sound like they were all under the same roof, right? No, they weren't. We're talking 6 major corporations that were involved in the Apollo moon missions. That's the first thing. Then there's 20,000, estimated 20,000 subcontractors that were involved with those 6 major corporations. So you had 6 major contractors, Boeing, North American being 2 of them, Grumman being 3, Grumman as well, and 20,000 scattered throughout the whole country. So how does someone know a particular part that they're working on for the lunar module 2,000 miles away from NASA? How does that person who's hired to do a job, he's there from 9 to 5, he's an engineer, he's on the floor, he's making this part, how does he know that part got into space? Is he privy to the hierarchy of management when it comes to NASA? No, he's not. It's like anybody working for a corporation. Everybody has a need-to-know basis. That's how it works. It's compartmentalized. All right? You don't know what the CEO and the board of directors are talking about. You don't know what their long-term goal is. You only know what you have to do in your cubicle. And that's exactly the analogy I use when it comes to the Apollo missions. So when he says people would have spoken, well, the fact of the matter is people have spoken. And people have spoken up, and they try to get their message out. One of them, an early pioneer of this, of course, was Bill Kaysing. And Bill Kaysing, they have gone through great lengths to denigrate that man and discredit him as much as possible. But he worked for Rocketdyne, which was another of the corporations that built the F-1 engines for the Apollo missions. And he noticed that they were falsifying that data. And he came forward after he resigned. He worked there from 1958 to 1963, and those engines that Rocketdyne was working at that time were specifically for the Saturn V rocket. Without those F-1 engines and the Saturn V rocket, you would have no Apollo missions. He came out and he resigned in 1963 in disgust because he noticed. And people say he was just there to read documents. Well, hell, he was hired by Rocketdyne, so obviously they thought he was qualified, and he could read data, and the data was telling him that they were falsifying the thrust output of the F-1 engines.